This is Christian Rose, Old Evil, That Damn Coyote, Moonshine, Illinois' favorite son, The Truth, The Bitter Lunatic, a man with so many nicknames even I can't remember them all, proudly representing those damn coyotes, King in the Valley, and you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Hey, yo.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Gather around for episode number 113 of the Sit Down Marks podcast, your monthly podcast for all the happenings in the world of wrestling, where four of us professionally unprofessional marks sit down and talk a little wrestling each and every month. Thank you guys for joining us. We got Primo, AJ, and Mike. How's it going, fellas?
Woo! What up? Real quick, did we lose or did we win because the stand-up Mark joined the sit-down Marks?
Now, was it? Did he assimilate us, or did we assimilate him?
Well,
is he infiltrating?
If you can't beat him, join him. So, and Mike joined us. So,
okay.
It's all part of my nefarious plot to corrupt you from the inside. You may call me Maggle of the Fifth Column from now on.
Maggle of the Fifth. Yeah. I grew up with you. I'm immune to your.
He's been sent to infiltrate.
For those of you marks who don't know what the fifth column is, it means someone attempting to take down an organization from the inside.
Wait, do people not know what that is?
The fifth column?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they don't. People don't read.
Yeah, I think the word people would think is like spy.
Spy.
Yeah.
He's
a plant.
A saboteur.
Boring.
Michael's like that old lady with the purse in the front row that swings it at people.
Insider threats.
I'm gonna get Hulk Hogan just.
Right.
Michael's the granny plant.
You're 006, the double agent.
My dream fulfilled. I'm finally the granny player.
I know.
I've been using it as a finishing move for a long time, and now it's true.
Congratulations. First things first, though. Congratulations to AJ. You received your King of the Mountain trophy. You want to show it off to anybody that's watching live right now? That's quite the little beauty there. Would you like to go ahead with your acceptance speech? There you go.
You know, I couldn't have done this without my vast knowledge of sporting balls. And, my ability to play said balls. And so I just wanted to thank everyone. And DB, thank you for this lovely. Look, it has a little crown on it. Look, that's pretty fantastic. Look at that go. Look at that right there. Look at
Sit down, Mark. King of the Mountain.
King of the Mountain.
That's my favorite thing about AJ being King of the Mountain is that he doesn't fucking know anything about sports.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Nope. If it's not Chicago Cubs baseball,
right.
Fuck off. I have no idea.
That's why, like my wife does better than me on the NCAA bracket every year because she knows nothing. I know too much.
You guys have
your heart's in it too much. Your heart and brain.
Yeah, exactly. you guys have the burden of knowledge in that kind of situation. It reminds me of Michael. I'm stealing this story from you. So
Go ahead.
Back when I was in college or whatever. Michael, my friend Kevin. Just an obsessive football fan. Absolutely obsessive football fan. And we were playing NFL 2K on, PS2 or whatever.
Sure.
Michael knows nothing about football, doesn't give a shit about football. Was playing Kevin, who, studied plays and seriously took it very seriously. Every single play, Michael ran a kick return. Every offense, defense, does not matter. Every single play, kick return. Michael won 77 to 10 or something like that. That reminds me a little of this.
I openly told him I'm running a kick return too, and he just was getting more and more pissed as every play went on.
It was glorious.
And then I retired undefeated.
The truth be told, I think the only time I played Primo in Madden, he scorched me by about 80 probably, so I get it.
You should have run more kick returns.
I can't do shit. I can't do shit against Primo. That dude's a stud.
Oh, no, man. I was. My skills have become lackluster in the most recent times.
Right.
Yes.
Not
what I once was.
Right, but you're as good once as you ever was.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, right. All right, boys, let's talk a little wrestling, man. Most of the
Yeah.
headlines lately have been the recent signings of people going with two other companies, staying with certain companies. Let's jump right in a little bit of AEW first, man. Right after we did our last pod, FTR re-signed with AEW.
Good move.
Yeah, I think that was a big win for them. What do you guys think?
Yes, I do, because I think that's where they fit the best. I think if they would have gone back to WWE, it just would have been more revival burying, and no one wants to see that. They're the best tag team in the world. Plus, I think we've been very down, well, at least the Harris brothers have been very down on AEW. And this it's a little bit of an uptick lately. My hopes are slightly raised for AEW lately, and this is a big part of it. Was the fact that they locked in FTR.
Would have liked to see FTR go to New Japan, to be honest. Mainly because they know how they're going to book FTR and AEW. They're going to steal the show every match, every time they're on a card, and they're not going to get any advertisement for it. They are arguably the best tag team in the world. It's them or the Usos are in the contention for it.
Motor City Machine Guns, maybe.
Yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns would definitely be in the conversation.
Sure.
But AEW didn't do shit with them. And
Right.
so I would have liked to see him go to New Japan or not WWE though.
Yeah. You like it, Primo? They're staying there and not going back to Papa H?
Papa H.
Yeah. So I don't remember which one of them, Bald or Beard, said it, but
It was Dax.
I know that they had mentioned in the past that they liked AEW's schedule and they get to see their families more. Probably was a major factor.
I would assume so.
Yeah. And to kind of rub off what Michael said too, at least with AEW, they know, because they do a lot of Forbidden Door. They can still get a little bit of the New Japan flavor and maybe wrestle some of their guys, but you're saying go over there full time, right? Is that what you meant? You thought would be
it's funny because I actually thought Dax's comments was sarcastic because of course you like the schedule, they never use you. It's a great schedule if you can get it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I want to get paid to sit at home. It'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they are a little bit more of a attraction right now. And plus, we got to talk about this too. So allegedly, this is a 4-year contract, and then they're saying they're done after these 4 years. Now it's wrestling. Take it for what it's worth. But so I'm if this is true, I'm expecting them to fucking go balls out with some awesome matches and just want to be seen more and put over other guys, that kind of stuff. So, and then they announced right after that too that AEW is going to Wembley Stadium for All In. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I love that. The balls on AEW for going to a 90,000 seat arena. That is fucking awesome. They're not going to sell it out, and they don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, we're going there. This.
Right.
The point is not to sell it out. The point is to expose as many people as possible to our product because it's growing in Europe right now. So I fucking love that.
Right.
It's such a cool move.
It must be nice to be the head of a business where you don't have to worry about making money.
Be a Tony Khan.
I mean, his pockets aren't infinite is the problem.
I mean, when you have $7 billion in the bank, I mean, that's close to infinite.
He does not have $7 billion. Let's get that very clear right now.
Well, his family does.
His father does. He's playing with inheritance money that is very much
even
limited.
Better.
The $7 billion as well is the net worth of the Jaguars and all their assets. They're not liquid assets.
Are they turning a profit? Is AEW turning?
No,
I have no idea if they've turned a profit or not. Let's find out. With my loud ass typing. Hold on.
I did read that they were kind of talking about starting to do the live shows. I would
love that.
And they said that would probably put them in the green. So.
They earned $100 million in revenue in 2022, but what were their expenses?
Right. Yeah, that's revenue, not profit. TJR Wrestling. So think about how many wrestlers they have signed, and how many of them have these very lucrative contracts that are just sitting there. Also, it's really expensive to run a wrestling company. There's a lot of shit that goes behind the scenes.
Speaking of shows, what do you guys think about this rumored new Saturday show?
The CM Punk special?
The CM Punk show, yeah.
So go ahead. I was going to say, so this is kind of like their way of brand splitting here. We're going to have people that CM gets along with on this.
The Elite over here and Punk over here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, too.
They have a Friday show no one watches now. What are they going to do on a Saturday show?
I feel like they should take the Friday show and just make that Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
That would make the most amount of sense, yeah. And then, FTR and Punk can tear the house down on Saturdays. And
that's what it'll be. And guess what?
But why can't we get the Bucks and Omega versus FTR and Punk? Drama sells, man.
At the end of the day, they're professionals. They'll work.
Right.
If there's money to be made.
No. Why do you give them so much credit? We've been doing this for years. They have never proven themselves to be professionals. FTR, Punk, absolutely professionals. Bucks and Omega, whiny little bitches.
Well, no, that's what I was talking about. I was saying CM Punk says, I saw him somewhere that he wrote or said that he would be willing to do work.
Of course he would be. He's a pro. But the problem is that, the Bucks and Omega, these guys are not professional. They should not be at least booking a tag division at all, but these guys are not professional. They keep sandbagging this guy every chance they get, and then you have Meltzer piping in with his dumbass comments like Punk should apologize to them. It's like
Meltzer's always been on their cock, so he's
always
them.
he's
always been on their
6.5 star match.
Side.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I do think I would hope that maybe this time, for the betterment of the business, maybe they would have grown a little bit from this, but,
The second they came out to Carry On My Wayward Son and we're doing GTSs in the ring, I was like, oh, go politely fuck yourself.
Yeah, these guys will never work together because either Matt and Nick will probably be afraid that, Dax or Cash or Punk is just going to fucking lay them out in that ring.
Stiff them, yeah.
Yeah.
But they would never do that because they're pros. What would probably happen is they would throw a potato at FTR or Punk, and they'd get a receipt, and they would put them on their ass.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I'll watch it.
I'd watch it. Don't get me wrong. I would watch the shit out of that match.
Yeah. All that being said, I would totally watch the Elite versus FTR and Punk.
That is the biggest money match they could put on.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to sell out Wembley?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to sell Wembley out, that's your main event.
So what do you guys think of CM Punk meeting with Chris Jericho then?
I think it's the wrestling business.
Yeah.
I think, Jericho or Triple H?
Punk's been seen everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
he was in Impact backstage, Raw backstage.
He got kicked out of Raw.
So
yeah.
Well, he got kicked out because they were worried about him still being under contract with AEW. So they're like, you gotta go.
Yeah,
you don't work for us, kiddo.
Tampering still. Yeah.
I mean, the thing with him meeting with Jericho, those two are pros. They know how to put business first and get over their personal differences. They've been around long enough. Jericho worked with Goldberg in WWE.
That's a good point.
Jericho should probably stop running his fucking mouth and
also
stop
a good point.
Pissing this guy off. But yeah, they're pros. They're old pros.
All right. So what do you guys think about? So it was either coincidental as shit or it just happened to all fall in place. So Jay White obviously is in AEW now. I was super excited about that. But the very next day was when WWE was allegedly bought out or whatever by UFC partner company. So first of all, smart on Jay White if he did it before that, but I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It was literally the next day. So, and I think some of these wrestlers too, they got to be thinking about that, in the long run. If they go sign with WWE, they're kind of rolling the dice as to where creative is going to go or could go after this sale goes through. If it does go through. It's going to go through to somebody eventually because it's for sale. So somebody's going to buy it. So UFC's got this big plan for this big, super gigantic whatever. So I feel like a lot of these traditional guys are going to probably lean towards AEW because it's a little more traditionally ran. versus they don't know what the fuck's going to happen to WWE. They can say all they want to. It doesn't make with their decision. FTR could fucking say that too. A lot of them are probably staying away just because Vince is back, but it has to do with a little bit of their decision. So.
Boom. Nail on the head.
Go ahead, AJ.
That's why I would stay away, because Vince and his fucking creepy-ass dyed porn stash are back. What are you doing? You are an 80-year-old man. You don't have black hair. Or a porn get the fuck out of here.
It's weird, man. It's like his twin brother came back in disguise.
it's Wah McMahon. You know, like Wah.
It's Vance.
Yeah, Vance.
Yeah, he looks like his own evil twin.
Yeah, he does, man. He does.
He looks like he owns like a swing club in like 1945 or something.
Yeah. All right, Primo, this one's for you, man.
Right.
All
right, Primo. This
Roman goes over.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna ask you about, man. How'd you feel about Jeff Hardy returning?
I was not as excited as I thought.
Oh yeah. It didn't hit you in your feels like it used to.
No.
Did it hit you like?
I was like, wait,
fart?
He's back already. Cool. Is he okay? That was my first thought.
If Jeff Hardy in his prime was like a delicious taco dinner, Jeff Hardy now is the shit that inevitably comes out of your asshole later.
I'm surprised they let him back with so much of a liability.
I honestly didn't think he looks that great either.
No, he looked slow and old and like he wanted to drink.
I mean, I know I don't look good, but like I'm not in front of lots of people inside the ring. So
what are you talking about? You are handsome.
Body wise, I still think he looks, like decent.
Fine.
Shape. Yeah. It's just he moves a little slower, but
yeah, no, but
it's just gonna happen.
I don't know. I'm nervous. I guess I'll say that.
Right. Yeah.
Rightfully so, I guess.
He gave the speech of getting another chance. We've heard.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he gave it on Rampage.
Yeah. So that he's
I heard
back,
that back in 2012 after Victory Road.
Yeah. There you go.
Heard it again in 2015 after he came back.
Now, and I'm biggest Jeff Hardy fan ever, but
this is like 3 different companies that's paid for rehab for him, correct?
Maybe that's what he's doing.
I love how they keep thinking like, oh, this time it'll take.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude's 45 years old and beat to shit.
It's like he's under this precious wrestling blanket where everybody looks after him. Every company, every wrestler,
his brother is always there.
Protected. Yeah, Matt's always there just grinding it out. So
I mean, I get that to an extent because while I'm not the biggest Jeff Hardy fan, he is one of those guys that could have been like a generational talent. Like he has the charisma, he had the in-ring ability.
Yeah.
So I can see why they would want to protect him at all costs, but at the same time, he's taking all of you for a ride at this point. He's just going to go get smacked out of his head and then go to rehab and have you pay for it.
Yeah.
Like I'll say this, that didn't make me plus or minus want to watch AEW any more or less.
Yeah, it was an indifferent kind of thing.
Yeah, because I don't want to get my heart broken again here. So that's about it.
You've been hurt too many times.
Yeah.
Well, what's going to happen is he's going to go for a leapfrog and blow his quad out.
I loved that so much.
Yeah. All right, so just a couple more AEW notes. Adam Cole is back. I'm happy about that. But I don't like how Britt is doing the, every time Adam starts getting his ass handed to him. There it is. Every time Adam starts getting his ass handed to him by somebody, Britt comes out like, "Oh God, don't hurt him."
Yeah,
make him look weak as shit.
They need to stop that, or that's going to make Adam look really good.
Did
also
anyone else? Go ahead, Primo.
No, go ahead.
So, was anyone else confused why there were 3 women under the ring when she ran out to make the save against Jericho and the Appreciation Society? Like
that's where they hang out.
It's where they live.
Like, at what point are you in an AEW crowd? You're like, those 3 wrestlers are going under that ring.
They're like just little ring trolls down there.
No, they
porn smuggle.
They don't. Well, what they do is they they have Hornswoggle on one side of the ring going under, so the crowd is like, "Oh, Hornswoggle," and then they just quietly like drop down
And then Titus
slowly
Middleton in there somewhere because he fell. No, and also along with Adam Cole, what do we think about Roddy Strong?
Yeah, I wasn't too big on it. Like I'm getting Undisputed Era vibes once
Yeah, that's about it.
O'Reilly comes back.
For half a second, I thought they were going to throw up the Undisputed sign.
Yeah.
I was like, can't do that. But yeah.
Is O'Reilly coming back anytime soon? Because he had neck surgery, didn't he? Is he coming back?
He's been
But Fish
gone a while.
isn't
He's
Fish
coming
in
back.
Impact?
Yeah, Fish is
and cutting the worst promos in the history of wrestling. Yes, he is.
after publicly saying he was intentionally sandbagging Punk in the ring. Because,
Right.
that's what wrestlers want
Yeah.
to do is work with you now.
Right. Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, man. Let's talk a little Impact first. Basically about their signings. I was excited about this one. Nick Aldis is back.
Yeah.
Not as
Yeah.
Magnus. He's back as
Not
Nick
Magnus.
Aldis. Right.
He's
Yeah.
still the national treasure.
Yeah. And the
Oh,
first time he's
absolutely.
on Impact Wrestling, it's their highest ratings in it was like 18, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it was quite a while.
Yeah. That brings them
Nick
credibility
Aldis, he's
right off
awesome
the bat.
too,
I
so-
like it.
Should
Great.
we all just
Yeah.
become huge Impact fans?
I already watched, man.
Yes.
I already watched.
I'm not saying like casual fans, Dirty. I'm saying like marks.
Right.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. I used to really like TNA. Like I like during the mid
I did too.
2000s, late 2000s, when they had a better production and more of a crowd. But
And when they had AJ and Joe, that's when I was like,
when they were
yeah.
just going off with the X division. Yeah.
Yeah. I never did like it better than WWE, so to speak, during that time. But I always watched it and still kept up with,
Yeah.
like I was a bit. I love Matt Morgan. I thought he was
The blueprint. Yeah.
the blueprint.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah,
I
the main
really
event
paid
mafia.
Yeah.
You had Fortune. You had you had so many good
Uh,
factions there.
Beer Money.
Beer
Beer
money.
Money.
Yeah.
I think
Wildcat and Chris, or Wildcat and what were they?
James Storm.
Chris Harris or James Storm and Chris Harris.
James Storm's Chris Harris. Yeah.
Yeah. You know when I
Yeah.
really stopped hating or started hating, not hating, but grew disinterested with all of that was Aces and Eights.
I was just
like,
gonna
this
say it's got to be Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights. I was like, okay, this is so fucking stupid.
It was
like-
so
around
WCW. Like,
Yes.
around
they
that
saw
time
him-
is when they started falling off, though. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
They
around the
saw-
time Hogan left too.
Oh
Right.
no, Hogan. Oh.
So, had a little bit of controversy in the TNA women's division. Our girl Mickey James,
Hardcore country.
Still got it.
she, definitely still got it, but she got injured, had to relinquish the title. So they're kind of saying that the last rodeo was over. And Deonna Purrazzo ended up beating Jordan Grace. She's the new champion. But is she going to be Naomi or is she going to be Trinity? I'm not sure.
Trinity.
Trinity.
Okay,
Trinity.
yeah, so she's showing up on Impact. So that kind of bolsters their women's division too. Kind of a big get for them. She wasn't going back if Vince was in town. So
I'm not mad at it. I'm just
yeah,
like, okay,
Yeah,
there's a
it's
spot for you.
yeah.
good way
Yeah.
to keep the ring rust off until Vince goes away again.
And
Right.
I've always been a fan of Naomi. I think she's awesome.
Oh, she's super
Yeah.
athletic.
So
Yeah.
good.
She's fantastic. So
Yeah.
I was glad to see her back.
The only
any
thing she ever
capacity.
did that I never liked was when she had the bands on her arms and she would dance.
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
she would dance. I hated
Right.
that too.
And
Yeah.
I was like, stop it.
But then that evolved into one of the best ring entrances ever. So one could say that was a necessity that had to happen for her current. Well, not current, but
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
like
her entrance is fucking killer.
Oh, I love
she
it.
has
I
got
love
a
her entrance.
Great entrance.
Yeah, it's great.
I just like that her finisher's called the rear view and that she smacks people with her ass.
The most ineffectual finisher outside of
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio's top rope stomp.
Like gives them the old booty hole right in the forehead.
The old toot hole to the nose.
That's a finisher right there.
Yep.
All right, let's jump WWE, man. Talk about some random stuff, headline stuff been going on. Also, right after our last pod, we were talking about Logan Paul re-signing or not. Well, obviously he did. Anybody know anything about this? How is it like? Is it by matches still, or is he actually got a year now?
Probably by matches, so he can keep doing his YouTube thing and
that would be my guess
the new
too.
insert thing.
Yeah,
But as far because I mean he hasn't shown up since, has he? Since Mania, I think it's by a match. He'll show up 2 weeks before SummerSlam, and
yeah. That was like his last one of his contract was the Mania show.
Was Mania, yeah. So I don't think he'll actually be around as like a person. I think he'll show up, do some spots, and then fuck off for another month and a half, which is fine. Like that's great. I don't want to see Logan Paul's stupid face, anyways. Like, but I do want to see him do some cool shit because he can do some cool shit.
Yeah.
He does the buckshot lariat better than
Hangman.
I disagree.
Really? Oh, I think
Totally.
he does.
Totally.
Do you think he does it better than CM Punk?
100%.
Oh yeah.
Because he does it without falling to the ground.
Twice.
Are you guys watching NXT at all? You guys catching
No.
I am 100%
I saw
out of NXT.
Braun did a heel turn.
Well, yeah, that's something we didn't mention last time was that Carmelo won the title.
Right, Carmelo, he's won the title, and then Braun turned on him, or not really turned on him, but kind of turned to like a nasty.
He went into mean mode, trying to. He doesn't have the title.
Right. Yeah.
Man, I don't have the title, man.
Honestly, the only reason I'm watching NXT still is because of Chase U and Pretty Deadly. Those two.
Chase U is awesome.
Yeah, I need both of them to get drafted to SmackDown or Raw.
Oh, and did Grayson Waller get hurt during that match with Carmelo?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't like Grayson Waller.
Voila.
Is that when he did the shoey?
What hurt
No,
him?
it was like this. His most recent. He was injured. Yeah, during spring breaking.
Spring breaking?
Electric
Here's
Boogaloo.
Here's a question for everybody. Speaking of WWE, I don't know why I just thought of this. Has anyone seen or heard from Bray Wyatt?
No, he's doing Bray Wyatt things.
No, it's just I heard he was pissed that Vince was back, and he's mad about some sort of creative, I don't know, something like that. So they should just let him go and let him go to Impact.
Honestly,
yeah. As of 2 hours, Ringside News has reported that Bray Wyatt has a new creative writer assigned by WWE.
That's not going to bode well.
Okay, so Bray Wyatt, when he was originally just Bray Wyatt, before he went off the deep end on the spookies, he was great. He didn't say anything, but my God, he could say nothing and make you believe it.
Right.
He does have a presence.
His matches were good, but like this second round of Bray Wyatt is just, my opinion, a fucking dud. Like
the only good thing that came out of it is that fucking entrance song. It's the greatest song ever.
Right.
Lights out match, clearly. Best match type ever.
Okay.
We did get to witness that.
And we did have fun with it. We can't, can't pretend like it wasn't a blast.
Right.
Because it was fun.
Right. I don't care. They just need to start pushing LA Knight is all.
Was that the last time he was around when we saw him?
Who?
It was around then. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was before Mania.
It was before Mania.
And yes, they need to push LA Knight.
Agreed. I was hoping they were gonna push LA Knight after that stupid fucking match.
Right.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
How was LA Knight not in a WrestleMania in LA? I still cannot fathom.
Like of all the shit they put on that show.
You're gonna piss me off all over again because man, they did this whole build up and lead up to that, and nothing happens.
These are the questions that keep me up at night.
All right, so let's get into it.
I try to have a memory of a goldfish.
Let's get into it, boys. We're in the middle of another WWE draft. They're brand splitting. Let's see what Monday and Friday last week they started drafting people everywhere, and Triple H introduced a brand new belt that's going to be on for the Monday Night Champion because Roman got drafted to SmackDown or staying on SmackDown. So the new World Heavyweight Champion belt is going to be on the Monday Night Raw champion. So first reactions, do you like the belt? Is it, Does it make sense? Sure, Primo, go first.
I feel like I'm in the minority here, so I actually don't mind it. I feel like it's what Triple H could do because he loves a big gold belt, but WWE is a marketing machine, so they have to put their label on everything, and it has to be big and in your face. So it's the closest thing compromise he could get from big gold and this marketing thing.
I'm going to go last. I have so much to say about this.
So I don't mind it so much, and actually I like it better than their current belts. So,
Michael, what's your thoughts on it? The actual belt.
I hate this belt. And it looks like okay, I can see what they're trying to do with it. Like I'm looking at a picture of it right now with like all the like scroll work and everything. It's so busy, and then just WWE. It offends my eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, initially when I looked at it, hated it. I'm still not a huge fan of it, but I think I get the idea. It's almost like they're trying to do like a little baby spawn of the world heavyweight title, but what I read too was that Triple H, when he came up with the idea of the belt, he wanted a belt that would be somewhat like look like Big Goldie. But Triple H also said when he was growing up that he used to watch NWA sometimes, and he remembered some of the tag teams had this particular gold tag team titles. They were the United States heavyweight titles. It had a big eagle on the front of it, and he said that was always one of his favorite belts. So he kind of took that old belt and morphed it with the Big Goldie. And only way it really looks like the old U.S. heavyweight title is the way the outline kind of goes in little lumps all the way down. But the gold on the inside is supposed to look like Big Goldie. But I think I would like it better if they would just make the damn WWE logo smaller in the middle. It just looks very, we already got two big belts that the WWE is all in your face, but this does look more like a champion's belt than we have, and dare I say it, I never thought I would, other than the IC title on Gunther right now. Like they just, they don't have the colors and the new styles and the big WWE logos on them. They're kind of more classic looking, a little more. What am I trying to say? You know what I mean? Like this world heavyweight title looks kind of like what I seen the guys that I grew up with and looked at old pictures of wearing belts kind of. But
it's gold on a black strap.
Yeah, it's gold on a black strap. Yeah. So, but I don't know. All right, go ahead, AJ.
So just as to the actual physical appearance of the belt, it's funny that you mentioned Gunther and the IC belt because I think it looks exactly like a glorified IC belt. I think that's what they're going for. So as far as the look of it, it's fine. I like it better than the belts that Roman has because it does look more like it looks less toyish and more like it looks like a boxing championship is kind of, and I like that.
Yeah, that's good analogy.
I wish it was more beat to shit. That's one of my main problems with Roman's belts too, is they're always pristine. I want them to be beat to shit. I want to see the lineage and I want to see the history behind these belts. Not that there's much history behind a fucking blue championship belt, but whatever. But I want to see that. It makes it more not real because that's stupid, but it gives it more credence, I guess. I don't know. But the thought process behind this belt, I hate it. One, if you're going to bring back Big Goldie, if you're going to retread old ideas that you already had and already got rid of, also if you're going along with the draft, then do that. Just retread the old belt. Bring back Big Goldie. Don't try and introduce a new belt for an old concept. Second, whoever wins this belt, it's not going to matter because it's Roman's still. You have two belts right there. You already have them. And now you're just going to keep them both on Roman and be like, oh, by the way, now it's one consolidated belt. That cheapens whoever eventually beats Roman Reigns, which apparently we're going to have to wait until next year's Mania, according to reports. The whole thing smacks of a lack of creativity. And they're like, okay, we're going to, something we've never done here, boys. We're going to do a draft. Never happened before. Brand exclusivity. Oh, and we're going to have a big goldy type belt. Never happened before. It's like all you're doing is retreading things. Like, that's it, and I hate it. That being said, Shinsuke better be the first champ. Otherwise, I'm going to fucking riot.
So, also, does this belt I don't know how the right way to say this, but does this belt bring back the lineage of the original World Big Gold?
No.
So,
No,
like,
like
does it carry the same history?
We're gonna call it the World Heavyweight Title. I think so. I think kind of
But
has
they
to.
they kind of wrap that lineage into the WWE Championship.
Yeah, they already consolidated the
Yeah.
World Heavyweight Championship into the WWE Universal Champion once.
This is starting fresh.
Yeah,
Right,
this is a brand new belt.
Yeah, I would say.
Like-
I guess so too.
What I seriously don't understand why we need another world champion. The IC title is supposed to be the workhorse champion. Why not just make Gunther the main dude? Like, he's ready for the spot. Just make him the main dude on the other brand. Like, that's what I don't understand.
I agree that he is ready for that spot, but he's doing too much for the IC belt. Like, if they take it off of him, the second they take it off of him, it's going to fucking plummet again.
Yeah.
So I think there's like, okay, the IC belt matters finally because Gunther is fucking amazing. So let's just keep it on him.
Small statistic also. I read that this belt is twice as heavy as either one of Roman's belts.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I heard that too. My thinking is they're creating this belt for a couple different reasons. So Roman can become more of an attraction type champion and can stay on him. The belts can stay on him forever, and then this champion that's going to be on Monday is going to be the one we're going to see more. Roman's probably going to, pop up every now and again before pay-per-views, at pay-per-views. He'll wrestle the big four. They want I think they are just bound and determined they want his reign to outlast everybody in God's creation that's ever been a world champion. Like,
I mean, at this point, right?
Well, they got how long was
Bruno?
Bruno was
Martino?
7
Yeah,
years?
okay, How long was Bruno?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if not, definitely of this era, I don't think they can get away with it that long. But I mean, it just makes sense that they can still let Roman be champion this way for a lot longer, and then guys like Lashley and Cody, and because I mean, if Cody wins this belt, is the story complete? Allegedly,
No.
It's not,
Right.
It's not the belt.
Right. Thank you.
Consolation prize.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
cheap cop out,
Right,
and
yeah.
They should have it wheeled out with a chicken wearing it.
Yeah. So
Whenever Cody got drafted to Raw, he did get drafted to Raw, right?
yeah, he's on.
Yeah, and Roman stayed on SmackDown. I was like, okay, what the fuck?
Right.
Like,
Sure.
okay, so I guess Cody is just gonna go and have to go for this new title that's actually attainable because he doesn't have to fight Roman.
Yeah. So he's just like, oh, I can't do that. This will complete this.
Well,
this
that being
junior
said,
belt.
I'd be okay with either. I talked to Michael about this earlier. I'd be all right with either Seth or Finn or Shinsuke. I didn't think about Shinsuke earlier, but Shinsuke would be a good one too. But
for the world title.
yeah,
Yeah.
either Finn or Seth were my first two picks, though.
Yeah,
Have them do a rematch of that Universal title match and Finn not get injured.
my two was Seth or Bobby Lashley.
See, I don't want Seth because I want Seth to beat Roman. That's a story that's still not finished. Roman's
man.
never like that should
Sure.
be. That's what I think. If Cody didn't take it off him, then I think Seth should. So I think, and this is going to sound bad, but I think Seth is above this belt.
Well, and they always have that in their pocket too for whenever they want to go there. They can always circle back to that one. Where
He even said that. He even
immediately
said that
interested.
recently. How he still hasn't beat him.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't want Seth as much as I want a belt on Seth, and as much as I love Seth. And then I seriously might think it, or I think it might be Shinsuke because of that fucking amazing promo package that they did for him coming back. I was like, okay,
I know.
they're going
Wasn't
to do
that
something.
cool? Yeah, they're going to put some time into them. I mean, the brand split is always supposed to have been to benefit to get more people on TV, get more storylines going, because it was a Raw show, a SmackDown, and They didn't intertwine. Both shows didn't open up with the Usos coming out or Sami Zayn cutting a promo. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like an actual brand split. So if they do that, then I'll be all about it. You know what I mean? There's certain guys that we'll all see on all the brands, but I mean, allegedly that's what it's supposed to be. So that's why I'm thinking they created this title to kind of make this brand split a little more important this time. And they're drafting NXT people too. They're bringing tons of people up in the draft.
Well, you said tons of people. They brought in 3 chicks on SmackDown.
They did. Well, there could be 3 more chicks tonight.
Which don't get me wrong. I'm super happy they finally brought up Indy, but
she's great.
Is Dexter Loomis still around?
JD McDonough got drafted. He was the one.
Was it after the show?
Yeah.
That's another thing, by the way. The way their format of how they do the draft is so shit. I don't like that.
I hate it. I thought that was so dumb.
And also, by the way, another thing I don't like. Okay, we can get on that for a second. I don't like how they're doing the draft at all. The actual draft picks have sucked. Besides the OC was the one that I liked for SmackDown, and AJ Styles returning, but the whole draft pool isn't available. So you're telling us because I had to think about it when they put Matt Riddle on there, and I was like, wait, why the fuck did he go before these other people? And then I was like, oh, it's because they aren't even available tonight. You know what I'm saying? So now we have to wait till Monday till all these other people are available.
Sure.
Can you imagine how batshit crazy football fans would go if they're like, you can only draft 20% of the pool now?
Yeah, but only in wrestling can you make up rules like that and expect it to be okay, right?
You remember when wrestling had rules? You remember that shit?
You remember when a finisher was a finisher?
And not a signature move?
Right, yeah.
There's one thing
kicks
that
out
I
of
do.
everything.
There's one thing that I do like about this draft as opposed to all the other ones, and that is that they're keeping factions together. Like the OC, like Judgment Day. Like they're not doing Finn Balor goes to Raw and Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley go to SmackDown. Like they're as factions. I like that.
Yeah, Rhea and Judgment Day are going to have to go to Raw because is the Belair the Raw Women's Champion? She got drafted to SmackDown.
No, she's going to SmackDown.
Yeah,
Which show quickly becomes the obvious one to watch?
SmackDown.
I'll say Raw. I want to see what they do with the title.
I mean, Cody's going to be like, thanks.
Hey, Cody, here's your consolation prize. And if Cody wins the belt, I will be upset. I'll be like...
when it's obvious, Triple H is just like, I wanted to make this after Big Goldie, and then consolation prize.
Yeah. And then what are they going to do with the tag titles? They should split them back up again,
You would think so, or
let them be on both shows.
This is the problem with the brand split. There's too many goddamn champions.
Yeah,
they don't mean anything.
Yeah, just made another one.
Yeah, it's the same problem with AEW's champions. There's too fucking many of you people.
Right.
None of you mean anything.
You get a belt, and you get a belt.
Bring it out to everybody. Raining belts.
So, I hate to derail us, but it was Big Show did have an eyeball. He popped it out of Midian's face and then squished it in his hand.
All right. That was all pre-pod talk, wasn't it?
Yes, backstory, please. Because no one knows what we're talking about.
So Primo was talking to me earlier about how we were talking about the Big Show and Paul White. And he's like, I can't remember specifically, but I swear there's a part where Big Show carried an eyeball around. And I was like, I remember something vaguely like that. Then we spent 20 minutes trying to find it.
Yep.
And we all of us looked at different sources, and then Primo finally found Midian getting his eye popped out, and oh my god!
The power of Squared Circle Reddit. They saved my life.
That's fantastic.
Hey, remember when Rey Mysterio got his eye popped out recently?
By Rollins actually,
by
and
Rollins,
Blake Murphy, whoever his name was.
How do you do an angle like that? And how do you follow that up?
It's because wrestling fans are supposed to have memory of goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
They're not supposed to remember that.
Yeah, from week to week.
Once things reset, Michael, that's fine. Everything
that was during the Thunderdome era. We can't even remember that.
No, that didn't.
Where's Miro? Why don't I have a Miro anymore on my stupid?
Waiting out a contract or something?
They're putting shiny things in your face. Forget about that.
I don't need a trios title. I need a Miro title. Where's my Miro?
Hey, Michael. Right. Hey, Michael.
Not gonna work. That is not Bulgarian, and I don't give a crap. All right.
Might be Bulgarian.
It is not. It says made in China on it.
You guys got any more notes here before we jump over to Backlash talk?
We didn't even bring up maximum male models, which makes me sad.
I thought that was a separate thing altogether. Because they kind of encompass all media.
Yeah, that was your own segment.
They got drafted.
It's because they're the greatest thing that WWE has ever done.
After the show was they have the after the draft special. They were on there as a unit.
Talk about just taking a shit gimmick and just owning the fuck out of it.
And turning it into gold, because it is utterly brilliant. Every time they're on screen.
Putting the girl, I can't remember her name, but with
Maxine,
yeah. Well, is working perfectly.
Yeah.
Let's make some predictions. So this weekend is Backlash, the pay-per-view after the big one. So not expecting a whole lot, but let's talk about right up top: Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. How do we book this, Indy?
How do we book it, or what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, both.
Brock squashes Cody.
Yeah, that's
my prediction.
So Brock can go for Roman's title and win it. So yeah, probably. That's exactly what I'm predicting as well. Brock not only goes over, but just fucking obliterates him. And then someone throws a chicken in the ring. It should always be a chicken in the ring.
My favorite thing about the Raw after was where Cody acknowledged that
he addressed it. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. What about the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Riddle?
Fucking Riddle is just
got to be on our way back to the Usos getting the titles back. I think. It can't happen here because it's a 6-man. But
I think Riddle takes the pin.
Yeah, I can.
Well, hold on. This is the Bloodline versus them.
Yeah.
Is this where Solo turns on his brothers?
No,
I wouldn't think
not yet. That's more of a Mania angle.
Yeah, because you know how they kind of been already touching on Owens and Riddle. Riddle getting on Owens' nerves, and him kind of talking to Sammy. So I think
the other day
that could be a way for Riddle taking the pin. They're mad at Riddle because he loses. Riddle pisses, makes him lose the belts. And I don't know. I just figured they're on their way back to the Bloodline because.
Why the fuck would Matt Riddle ever interact with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as those characters are presented? They have nothing in common.
Yeah, I agree. They just kind of threw him in there. Like, okay, Riddle, you're going to work with these guys now for no reason whatsoever. Because Randy Orton's not there. And I think that Randy Orton is the only person that can work with Riddle.
God, that's another thing I forgot to talk about in the draft. No surprises.
Oh, yeah, none.
AJ returning and Randy Orton not returning and Big E not returning. Of course, Big E, broken neck, I'll get well, sir.
Right. But, good thing is it's not over, so we might be this week.
Yeah, we got a day.
Let's talk about women's matches now. Neither one of these women are losing these titles at this, but who has the better chance of winning? Zelina versus Rhea or Io Sky versus Bianca?
What's a better chance than it's like 0%
Io has the better chance, but
I'm gonna
say Zelina in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So she has a 0.0 or 0.001% chance of winning, whereas Io has a 0% chance.
Yeah, she kind of got home field advantage. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I'd say Zelina's got a better chance, but it ain't happening.
No,
right?
Because neither are going to happen. That's
United
pretty much
States
a foregone conclusion.
Championship, boys. Austin Theory's putting the title line in a a triple threat match, a thruple around these parts versus
thruple.
Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed.
Austin Theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna say retain.
Yeah, he retains.
Ooh.
Wait.
Stakes aren't big enough yet.
No.
No?
Unless Austin gets drafted to SmackDown. Because Imperium went to Raw.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
This is another thing. This is another thing. They shouldn't have done the draft before this pay-per-view.
Before a pay-per-view?
No, they shouldn't have.
I'm still going to say that.
Because Bobby went to SmackDown.
I can see him flashing, putting it on Bronson Reed just to kind of give him a little, you know.
I could see Theory taking the pin because they're not going to do it to Lashley because he's going to be a contender for their big boy strap.
Yeah.
I would say Theory loses, Bronson Reed picks it up.
Yeah.
I know.
Street
right?
Fight. Bad Bunny in his home turf versus Damian Priest.
Can I choose cyanide pills?
They're both on home turf, but I'll say this:
they are, but it's more of Bad Bunny's turf.
I'd like for a bad.
Yeah.
I'd like for a bad. Or excuse me. I can't believe I almost said that. I'd like for Damian Priest to whoop the shit out of him, but we all know that's not going to happen.
No, especially knowing that the
LWO is going to come out or something.
Yeah. DQ schmozzy finish, but Bad Bunny still goes over.
And I don't care if there's weapons involved. Damian Priest is like 6'7". He's a huge fucking dude.
He's fast too.
Yeah, he's super athletic, and
the Archer of Infamy.
But Bad Bunny is a celebrity.
Yeah,
which means he has special powers.
He does a good Canadian destroyer.
He's got plot armor.
He does. He has all the plot armor in the world.
Did you ever think about how stupid the Canadian destroyer is as a move?
Yeah.
Because like, realistic
please do a
happen is,
backflip really fast.
You just put your face right in their butt. That's all that would happen. It's like a reverse rear view. Just right in the old butt. And the guy would just stand up and be like, what the fucking...
Why is your nose in my butt?
Knock it off. We're trying to have a wrestling match.
All right, so last match listed as of today, as we record Monday, May 1st, Seth Rollins versus Almost. Now, this kind of came out of nowhere because have they even been face-to-face yet, maybe?
Yes.
Maybe they came together on Raw for like a little stare down.
I read somewhere that he found out at the same time as we did.
You think he was just like, Seth, get out there. What?
Well, did you see that? Did you see that Raw where Seth was like going to come out and do something, and then they just ended up playing his music, and he got pissed off and left?
Yeah, and he took off. I didn't
see that. Yeah. No.
So
it was like 3 weeks ago.
Like shoot or kayfabe?
Oh no, they were like changing the plans at like on the fly right there, and he was doing the whole and then left.
That's Vince. That'll be Vince and his Wow McMahon at it again.
I do have to say this about Almost, since we've done nothing but shit on him for the past 2 years, rightfully so. But after finding out what he's like in real life, I'm 100% on board with Almost.
Talked about this, Michael.
He is. Yeah. He is like the coolest geek ever in real life. Like he loves comic books and he's a painter and he draws. He's just a cool guy in real life. Right. So I'm 100%. Whatever they do with Almost, I hope they push him to the moon because he's awesome.
He
my sucks problem. On the ring though.
Personal connection. Yeah.
He's awesome.
I don't doubt for a second he is a phenomenal person and like a really cool guy to hang out with and talk about stuff and have a cup of coffee with. I don't want to see him on my fucking TV though.
I mean, that's fair. I just can't bring myself to hate him anymore.
No offense to Primo. I think he's a great guy. I don't want to see him in a wrestling ring.
Why not? I would love to see Primo in a wrestling ring.
Primo going 10 minutes with Seth Rollins and this is bullshit.
Dude, I couldn't go 30 seconds with Seth Rollins. I'd be a can of biscuits popped wide open.
And his, I don't know, his outfits just don't look right to me that he wears to the ring. He just doesn't come off as tough other than just being big.
Huge.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But, MVP's done He's trying.
MVP's
trying.
great.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
MVP's
he is
so good on the mic.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
trying, so.
the real problem with Omos is he's so limited in his mobility because he's so fucking big.
Right. That's why he needs to be like muscle in a faction. And that's
yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Let him get in there and clothesline and press and pound. You know,
that's
it, man.
Like in the Judgment Day, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you might be able to like steal a pay-per-view with him, but like, oh no, you should not be doing build-ups where he actually has to wrestle a match.
I mean, his match with Brock was halfway decent. Can't say it wasn't.
But it means it was halfway shit too.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at that half of it.
But it was what we wanted too. Just suplexes, get out of there.
It was 5 minutes. Okay, let's watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, it was a spectacle. It's what it should have been.
True.
Right.
That's true.
All right, boys. Anything else in the world of wrestling before we move on to some little indie talk here, real quick?
No.
I did read this. I'm going to tell you guys this too. It said that of the top 3 alleged like free agents, I guess you'd call them top 4. They said Jay White, Nick Aldis, and FTR that all of them, according to tons of reports, were leaning towards WWE until Vince came back, and then they said all of their contract negotiations stalled when the word of Vince had come back. That's what I read on a couple of reports. So, but anyway, it just mainly said that that WWE had like one of the worst springs that they've ever had by not landing one of these 3 big. They called them needle movers, whatever. But I thought that was kind of interesting. But I want to say this too, man. Like watching, I know you guys aren't real AEW guys, but man, like the more I watch MJF, the more I feel like he is the Ric Flair of this era. Like
that's something I want to talk
fair.
about.
Yeah. Let's talk about him for a minute.
Let's talk about
MJF.
Work.
Dude's doing work, man.
You know, did you see the tweet he put out and then deleted? All right, so
No.
MJF, he puts this tweet out essentially telling everyone in the industry, stop working so goddamn dangerously.
Yes.
All you're doing is getting this bloodlust up that you will never deliver on, and you're going to kill yourself for people who won't remember a fucking thing about you and don't care about you.
Yep. I didn't understand that now.
MJF sends this tweet out, and people are like, oh, no, tables, though. But here's the thing. I've been saying this shit for months. Stop being fucking dangerous. Like, I just said it at Mania again when Asuka took a powerbomb on the floor and got a 2 count. How is that not a match finisher? Anyway, not getting back to that.
Sure.
But how fucking dangerous are these people going to keep working for their little pop? It's like no one's going to remember a goddamn thing about this in a week because someone else is going to do something else fucking insane, like light their dick on fire with a weed whacker or something.
Right, yeah. He's
saying a lot of friction.
He's saying like, stop encouraging them or, get somebody hurt, basically for cheering for these spots, Now, I will say he is absolutely right.
Yes,
absolutely right. He's right. You know what I mean? Because honestly, like let's talk as general fans here. The more we see that shit, the more we want to see it. I saw fucking Vikingo live at Dreamwave, a couple months ago. Man, yeah. And he's coming back in June to Dreamwave. And I can't fucking wait to see that shit again because like it's fucking great.
It was cool.
Ton of it is unnecessary. It's acrobatics, to a small spot, to a kickity flip, walk across the ropes, backflip, corkscrew driver for a stomp on the back. You know what I mean? Like
spin it back.
Skip it back.
Sound like Scatman.
Skip it boop up, kick it back.
You know what I mean? And somebody hits somebody with a chair, at a match. What are we screaming? We want tables now. They get the table spot happens, the ladders or the ladders, then the tables. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's absolutely right. Oh, wrestling, stiff wrestling has always, wrestling can get over in tons of ways, and and a lot of these young guys, man, they want to get. I can tell you firsthand from working on the indies. AJ can tell you too, man. These guys, these young guys, they grew up watching the Jeff Hardys and a lot of these guys, and they want to get these flips in, and because they're just spectacular moves and pop the crowd, and everybody wants to work a different way, but he's totally right though. I mean, the less that shit is encouraged, the more it's going to be safe for the boys and girls in the locker room and out there wrestling, man. Yeah, but yeah, he's totally right. You know what I mean? They weren't doing that shit when I grew up and got hooked on wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah, a chair shot was the end of a match, and that guy wasn't seen for 2 fucking weeks afterwards.
Yeah, that was going on a break angle. The guy was taking a break angle. But yeah, he's totally right. But yeah.
Well, like, who was it that just crippled themselves? Not crippled themselves, but like broke their Dante Martin.
Yeah, Dante
Taking
Martin.
the fucking the what the hell is it's a Canadian destroyer off of a ladder through a table. It's like
it's like through 2 tables.
It's a career shortening bump right there.
Yeah.
For what?
Right.
Well, also, the reason, going back to what you're saying, Dirty, he's dead right about this because people get desensitized to shit so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, you see blood in a Moxley match, which you're gonna fucking see, and it's gonna jerk the curtain. Then, like, if there's an actual, like, heated match later for the main event and there's blood in it, you don't fucking care because it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's bad business. It's bad storytelling.
Yeah.
I just want NWA to come back, all right? I just want NWA to come back and save me from this mediocrity.
All right, so let's go ahead.
Really quick, since you just brought up MJF. So what do you think of the 4 pillars of AEW going for the title? In my opinion, it's now 2 pillars and 2 guys that are just there and probably shouldn't be.
Let me see if I can remember. The 4 pillars, what? MJF, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and Darby?
Yep.
Yeah.
None of them have a fucking shot of beating him for that title.
Sammy Guevara's on top of that list, though.
Yes. The only one who actually belongs in that, to even be called a pillar of AEW anymore, is Darby Allin. Jungle Boy he's fine, but he's not someone you can build a show around. Sammy Guevara can just go fuck right off, like immediately. And none of them are on MJF's level or will ever be on MJF's level. And MJF's only going to get better.
Sammy Guevara has go-away heat. He doesn't have good heel heat like MJF does.
No.
I don't really have go-away heat with Sammy. I enjoy watching his matches. Like it's not my kind of style, but I fucking love watching him. He's probably the best on the mic out of all of them. Darby's a stunt man. And let me say this too, for the sake of argument. Pillars don't always have to be the guys right now. Jungle Boy, they looking at him in, maybe 5 years, for the title. Not anytime soon.
Maybe.
Like, we got a long ways to go with him, and I hope they see that too. MJF, ready right now. You know what I mean? I think Sammy's at the top of that list. Darby's selling tickets right now. Sammy's like going to be the guy, I think, at some point.
It's funny, like all that stuff we just talked about. Darby Allin is the epitome of all of that.
Yeah.
Like just doing insane things that are going to get you hurt or paralyzed or something.
Sure. We draw up all the time when he does a move, right?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, though, like, I'm going to tell you a little secret here, Dirty. You're very, very kind to some of this stuff. And, I get why you are. I get it. You want the best for wrestling, and I admire that.
Sure.
But, like, Jungle Boy, man, it's been almost 4 years. He hasn't improved at all. Like, he's gonna be who he is.
Sure. Yeah. His mic work is about a 1 out of a 2.
Yeah, like if he was putting in the work on the mic to get better, I would say, okay, let's see where he's going, because he can go in the ring. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
If he's with someone who like can lead him, he's not gonna lead a match on his own anytime soon.
Yeah. They should replace him with Britt.
Yeah. Agreed.
As a pillar, but yeah.
Honestly, yeah, she should be.
Yeah. All All right, so let's talk a little bit just about Dreamwave and Iron Spirit Pro, our two promotions that we've been working with. Let's go back to Dreamwave. Was just a couple weeks ago. The card was Anniversary 8. Was the 8th anniversary of Dreamwave Wrestling, minus or 8 years in business, so to speak. But yeah, it was a super awesome card. I had a quite eventful day. Just to let you kind of know some of the guys that were on the card. I got to meet Alex Shelley, Ricky Morton, Jimmy Mouth of South Hart, PCO, one of the nicest dudes. Just very, very kind, considerate guy. And then I got to see some of the new guys on the wrestling scene. Marcus Mathers, Dylan McKay, who together are Wasted Youth, which is a big tag team on the indies right now in the Midwest. And they ended up winning the Dreamwave title. We got to meet Speedball too. Not, you guys know I'm not a fan of Speedball, but super cool fella, of course. Got to shoot the shit with Manders for quite a while. So it was cool, man. We had some drama though. I can say now. So your main event that night was Christian Rose. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Yep, still here.
Okay, sorry. Christian Rose versus my thing just reset.
What?
That's a weird tag team name.
That is very
My thing
weird.
just reset.
My thing just reset.
Featuring Tony Bird.
Right.
Not so long. So what he was gonna say is that his thing reset after he saw the Shinsuke promo. That's what happened to me.
Dick hard, is that what I was gonna say? I don't.
I'll make your dick hard right there.
What
Can you do it in
happened?
more of a South Carolina accent?
That'll make your dick hard right there. No, I don't know what that was. That was not.
What was like a Kentucky Colonel?
Dick hard right there.
I say, my boy.
I say that make your dick hard, boy.
Make your dick hard, boy.
So I was supposed to do the pre-show match, which I mean by announce the pre-show match, and then ended up not getting to do that because they moved the pre-show match to the main card. So ended up getting to do a spot with Jimmy Mouth of the South Hart, which was super cool.
Why are you downplaying it? That's like one of your heroes, and you're like, yeah, that's all right. Cool.
So we got to take now he has he can't be on TV for anybody but WWE, so we kind of got to do a little spot for everybody in the house. And basically Jimmy come out, he sang to everybody, and we sang happy birthday to this kid that had a birthday going on. So it's just really cool, man. It was cool to be in the ring with him, and we did a little spot where we plugged the local pizza joint that was sponsoring the show. So it was super cool, man. I was excited about it to be able to do it, and looking forward to next June show. They've already announced the Nasty Boys are going to be there. The
Nasties are?
The Nasties are, yeah. Vikingo's coming back in June. Trying to think who was some of the other guys is going to be there, but super pumped for it, man. Dreamwave always. The Brooklyn Brawler is going to be there. Scotty Too Hottie, Earl Hebner, the referee, the Montreal Screwjob is going to be there. Yeah.
Make sure that he doesn't have any T-shirts with him when he leaves the show that night. Allegedly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So look forward to that one. So that was fun. And then last weekend was Iron Spirit Pro. Sit Down Marks was a sponsor of that. AJ wasn't able to make the show. Boo. But it was awesome. Another packed out house. Things really, the locker room really brought it again. Had a lot of fun. So thanks everybody to coming out for that. Another show coming up. We're going to Champaign on May the 26th for the next Iron Spirit Pro show. So that's going to be fun. So looking forward to those shows. And let's talk about a few things here, man, before we take her home. As a whole, right now, how you guys feeling about wrestling? On the letter scale, A, B, C, or D. C being your average, kind of interested in what's going on. B means you're more than average. A, you're really interested. A plus, super. AJ, you'll go first.
Sure. Overall, across all the companies, C. There's so much going on in WWE that I either outright hate or am indifferent to.
Right.
After Cody lost at Mania, I've been so just over WWE and their stupid fucking booking and storytelling. And then the fact that Vince is back and with his stupid mustache and his 40s swing club and then AEW,
Vance, not Vince.
Vance McMahon. And then I made myself giggle there.
Laugh at yourself.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's so stupid. And then AEW, I'll honestly, people bitch about CM Punk as much as they want, but he is one of the biggest draws in the world, and I will care way more when CM Punk returns. And that is with MJF being just the best in the world at the moment. So overall, I would say, yeah, it's a C, I guess.
Yeah. Primo, you want to go?
Yeah. I am intrigued to see who's going to be the new World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah.
That sounds like Backlash.
Stared off into space all of a sudden.
Right.
So I'm gonna give it. To be fair, I'll give it a C as well because I just can't. I'm not saying it has completely lost all of my interest right now because I still watch it, and right now I'm curious who's getting drafted, just because I'm into that kind of shit. But I feel like number one, it's post Mania, so we're in that lull, and I can't stand Backlash anyway because all it is a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But and then AEW is gonna be AEW. They're cool. I'm not a fan of AEW. I don't mind AEW. I grew up with WWE, so I'm that's long
Michael, what's your
time
grade?
gal.
I hate drafts. I really do. Ever since I'm like AJ on this one. Ever since Cody didn't win the belt at Mania, I've been so indifferent to WWE. I've been keeping up on the news and all the match results, but
yeah.
So I'm gonna say we should all get really into Impact Wrestling and
I'm on board
get
with that plan.
super into fucking Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
AEW, I don't care. And that's the worst thing to say about wrestling. Not I have, heat with them or anything, because that's something to talk about. That's, that's what you're supposed to do. You like wrestlers, you don't like wrestlers, you talk about it. Indifference to me is this the kiss of death for a company.
Sure.
And outside of MJF, I'm just indifferent to AEW right now. And which sucks because they've got Claudio, they've got, Bryan Danielson, who are two of my all-time favorites, but I just don't care.
So that's a D or an F or?
I'm thinking. I had to stare off into space, Primo style, for a second.
You really got to ponder it,
I know you're letter grades. I would say right now D, because I actively avoid some wrestling programming now, which is not normally how I operate.
Right.
Go Impact.
I'm going to be more at a B because WWE is kind of I'm a little more interested in AEW these days, but I'm excited about all this at Impact. I'm excited about Jay White being I can see him wrestle more now than having to watch New Japan. I'm excited about that part. So that's got me a little more interested. Another thing, too, is, and I wanted to mention this earlier, I've been watching more MLW. It comes on Tuesday nights, I think, on Reels, which I think might only be on DirecTV, but they got an app, I'm sure, too. But I'm watching that because, believe it or not, Enzo is kind of entertaining there. He's doing this little, he's called Real One on there, but he's doing this little feud with this guy called Macro Man, and he's like a little small fella, like super small.
Fella.
Macro Man.
But Ricky Shane Page is on there. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is on there. I like watching him wrestle. It's kind of like watching Davey Boy, you know what I mean, in a lot of ways. So that's kind of cool to me. So I'm a little more like closer to a B as far as letter grade. So I got two more for you guys before we go out of here. Just quickly, right off the top of your head, next year at Mania, as of right now, who do you want to see Roman face? Michael, go first.
Gunther.
I'll second that. Primo?
Stare up into space.
Fuck, man. Is there anybody other than Gunther?
Ponder.
They have like a year to build a new star, so it's a tough question. You're absolutely dead on with that.
Seth. I will die on that hill. That I agree with AJ. I'm still not over Royal Rumble 2021. Seth didn't lose.
Right.
So are we assuming that Roman is still the champion a year from now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty safe assumption. I thought at this point, right?
Honestly, because obviously there's a couple of guys I would absolutely love Finn and Shinsuke. But the best story and the one I would probably want to see the most is I agree with Primo. Seth.
Okay. All right, AJ, we'll stick with you, man. Out of all of wrestling right now, anybody with any kind of a title, who's your favorite one in the top of the mountain?
Easy. Gunther.
Okay.
Like no other by far.
Yeah.
Gunther.
Yeah.
The only one who would be close is MJF, but no, Gunther still blows even MJF out of the water right now.
It's fair. Primo?
My favorite champion. Who's on top of the mountain? No, I don't. This one's easy. So the king of the mountain himself, AJ.
Oh, look, it even fits.
I did not see that one coming.
Thank you, Primo.
But if I had to pick a real wrestler, AJ is a wrestling commentator.
I am a wrestling commentator.
So he has a shot, is what you're saying.
Yeah. At any moment, I could hop in. And
Michael Cole was undefeated at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Pat McAfee's had several matches.
But for real, I'm going to say MJF.
Yeah.
MJF is mine, too. Just because... Like, I love him and Gunther for two absolute opposite reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They're opposite end of the spectrum. So, but yeah, I'd have to go with MJF right now.
Michael.
So I would say right now, Gunther. And the only reason right now is because we've only seen MJF title defense twice since he's had the belt, and we've seen some fucking awesome Gunther match.
Yeah. Gunther's putting in the work, boy.
Yeah.
That dude is the fucking champion at some point in his career. Like, he will be the world universal title holder, whatever one.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. He's another one I could see holding it for a very long time. I love it when he's taking his jacket off, too, and Ludwig's back there, like, grab it and spin.
He is so good at that.
Right? Yeah.
How much did he practice that backstage?
I don't know. Yeah, like they did it a ton or something. But that coat like disappears in like seconds. It's
like, he does a little spin and then it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Germans are all about efficiency. Like, they just make the coat disappear.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's get out of here. That was a good one, man. Appreciate you guys all being here today.
Yeah.
Thank everybody downloading and listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone watch Impact, and I'm pushing for it hard because Yeah, I can't deal between outright loathing and indifference. I need something. And Impact hasn't offended me recently, and they brought in Trinity, and I love Trinity, so.
It's fair.
Yep. So I like that they're making some moves. So
Did you guys go to AAW?
Wait, what?
Didn't y'all go to AAW?
We did. We do that before the last pod, or
No.
Oh yeah, no, that was after.
Yeah. That was a blast.
That was great. And I will say one thing about it is, and this was speaking to our topic earlier about people killing themselves, like seeing thumbtacks in real life when you're right there is disgusting.
That sounds disgusting.
There was one sticking out of Heart and Power's head. Like it's just there, like a big shiny dot.
And everybody was focused on it, and
also, Dirty, you helped out in a match.
Yeah, I did. Vance Warner versus Silas Mason. So Mancer's trying to drag Thrillbilly Silas Mason, who is
dead weight,
probably twice the size of me, dude.
Yeah. A big guy.
So Mancer's like trying to drag him in. And he's like, "God damn, I can't get him in the fucking ring." He's like, "Come here, y'all help me. And I'm just kind of standing there, and he's like, "No, for real, y'all help me.
Really.
Y'all help me." So like run over there, I like grab an arm and just like start pulling him, and eventually he rolls over to the ring. I was like, "Well, that's the first. I don't know they've ever really done that before." But yeah, he was fucking dead weight selling the shit.
That's great.
That's
I love
pretty
that.
funny.
Yeah. Awesome. I was sitting there next to him, just be like,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was
awesome,
nuts, man. All right, thanks everybody for listening to the podcast, boys. We'll see you guys next month. We'll be back here right after, I believe, WWE gets back from where are they going? Jeddah or something like that again?
They're doing Saudi Arabia again?
Yeah. That's where they're doing King and Queen of the Ring. So
yeah,
it's at the end of May. So
they're doing King of the Ring again.
Oh dear God. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right, boys. For AJ, Primo, Michael, sit down with you, Marks, next month.
Adios.
Later, everybody. Watch it, baby.
Uh-huh.